Hey there, hi there, ho there, and welcome back to another exciting edition of the Cardinal Couple Radio Hour podcast, where we discuss the joy and excitement of women's athletics. We have a strong crew of three, actually four if you add Daryl's cat Lulu to the broadcast. She's outside and has a lot to say later. We may save her comments for final thoughts, though. But Jared and Daryl and I will
Case is here.
bring you the news we got.
Jared will not be here.
I'm sorry, not Case. Daryl and Jared Jared was on my mind because he's out at the state fair today. He took Katie out there, and I'm sure he's out there stuffing corn dogs down his throat and taking selfies of himself. So we'll be blessed by those on the internet, I guess, later on after they get back. But I did not do the state fair this year. I haven't been in several years. I know, Case, you said you hadn't been in a long time. Daryl, state fair history?
I actually went twice last weekend for the free concerts. I felt like they were must-sees, Sister Sledge and Blue Oyster Cult. So made the trip out there. It was a great time, not packed at all. Like just my memories of Friday and Saturdays, the very first Friday and Saturday of the fair would be a packed, kind of dangerous atmosphere. They've had, shots fired sometimes. Just these kids don't know how to act. So I was a little nervous going out on the first weekend, but it was a good time, other than the fact that I did have lost $80 in cash. It just jumped right out of my purse. So I was
my.
So I just pretend that the horses that I pet ate it, and that makes me feel good.
I suppose so. And I got to ask you, how was Blue Oyster Cult? They've been around, obviously, since the early 70s.
Yeah.
Were they pretty good?
Oh, yeah, I loved it. Godzilla that one was a must-see, and they played that one, so that was exciting. And, Fear the Reaper, that kind of stuff. Sounds just like it does on the records.
The lead singer, Eric Bloom, for that song when they used to do Godzilla in Louisville, he would get the microphone. He goes, "And coming up the Ohio River now, stomping on 6 Mile Island, destroying New Albany. Who could it be? It's Godzilla." And then the lead guitarist would break into his riff, and then they'd do the song. One of the classics, and it's always fun to see them. But okay, real good Case. As far as things are going, as far as your summer and fall plans, everything in line for you?
Sure. I'm burning up 64. That trend continues, so back and forth.
Still making the
the
Lexington Frankfurt run?
In Lexington all the time. I was there twice 2 weeks ago, twice this week. Or I guess twice last week, twice this week, twice next week. You could throw Cincinnati in there next week too, so it'll be a little bit more interesting.
Got you being a road warrior, huh?
Hey, 70 something cents a mile. I don't complain about it too much.
And certainly a very scenic drive up 64 to Lexington in some parts. Of course, some parts of it are utterly boring. And have they stopped all the construction on 64 yet, or no?
No. They are still expanding.
That's only been going on for 20 years.
Yeah, it'll be going on.
As soon as one project stops, they start another one.
That seems to be the truth. Yeah.
The current project is where it used to be, where it's 3 lanes after 265, and then it cuts down to 2 lanes to Shelbyville. Or I guess wherever that is. But that first stretch when you're leaving Louisville, the first stretch where it switches to 2 lanes, that is expanding to be 3 lanes. So it'll be 3 lanes all the way out until wherever it next back down to 2 on the way to Frankfurt or whatever.
Down past Waddy or Peytona Waddy. It used to be Waddy Peytona, but then they changed the signs and now it's Peytona Waddy.
Somebody wanted it in alphabetical order, or Peytona got bigger, I guess.
I'm thinking they had this big arm wrestling match between the 2 biggest guys in each city, and the guy from Peytona beat the guy from Waddy, so they won the naming rights. But it probably didn't happen that way. Have been to Waddy though. Not a whole lot there. The truck stop there at the exit, though, is there's two of them now. Of course, the one on the left and the one on the right. Many moons ago, I used to sell coffee to the truck stop on the right and have a lot of great stories from that. Goodness gracious. But I digress. Let's go and get into UofL women's athletics as we shall. First of all, um, going on today, and we'll talk about that first, I guess, is volleyball will be hosting the Alumni All-Star match today, as the volleyball team has been kind of leaking who is going to be into the actual match all week long. But in case just taking a look at that, what names are coming back from past years that the Cardinal fans might recognize and remember?
Yeah. First, a minor deviation into a Latin grammatical annoyance is that UofL keeps referring to this as an alumni match, and the plural feminine alumna is alumnae, and so I'm like, why do you keep doing this? And then when I wrote today's article and I pasted it into Google Drive, because I put all my columns into Google just in case we have some weird server sync issues like we've had before and it gets deleted, so that way I don't have to rewrite the whole thing. And Google was like, check your grammar, you might want to use alumni instead of alumnae. And I'm like, I assure you I don't want to use alumni. Like, I know what I'm pretty sure I know what I'm saying here. So yeah, that was my minor annoyance there. But at any rate, yeah, the names are pretty much what we kind of were hearing in the rumor mill. We did get one more addition that we didn't expect, which is Anna DeBeer is rostered by the alumni. I'll say what they're calling it, the Alumni All-Star Team, but not to play. She, along with Sarah Drury-Pekovic, will be coaching that group. So I managed to find actually a nice picture for today's article that Jared had taken last year at the championship match of DeBeer and Petkovic on the bench together. So I included that one. But so they'll be leading the team there. There was also another name that hadn't come up just yet. Well, two more, I guess, that hadn't come up just yet. First being Emily Scott. Will join as a middle blocker. Scott was with the team for 2018, 2019, 2021. In her time at UofL, managed 207 kills and 133 total blocks across those 3 seasons, despite only playing in 138 sets total. She also was a 2-time national championship or a 2-time national champion in high jump, so pretty good there. Congratulations to her on that, but she'll be taking a middle blocker position, and then another setter joined the squad for Louisville, which is, or for the alumni, which is Jamie Vasilou, who was primarily a serving specialist for the Cards when she was at UofL. So anticipate that she'll be working on that, but the present team will definitely have their hands full with the team that they'll face. So defensively, you've got Scott, and then, well, 2 Scotts. Emily as a middle blocker, Elena Scott playing libero. And then offensively, even without DeBeer, the alumni are going to roll out Charity Looper, Aiko Jones, and Claire Chaussee. So that's certainly no slouch of an offensive attack.
Yeah, it looks like a really, really strong team here, Daryl, with all these well-noted and famous alumni coming back into play in this thing. Could the current squad be in a bit of trouble from this powerful group of alumni?
Maybe so. It's kind of crazy when you think about those names. It feels like it was just yesterday, but it also, it could have been a few years for a few of them. I think Claire Chaussee stands out to me the most. It's been a little bit of time since she's had the uniform on, and it'd be good to see her back. And I just think this is a good event for ticket holders, and just today's roster to blend and compete with previous rosters. It's just a good morale booster for everybody, just to keep those alumni around the program and just keep the program progressing, letting them know. And Coach Walls is really good at it too, just knowing that they'll always be a part of this program. We'll always be excited to see them come back and just show their faces, whether it's in the crowd, participating in an alumni match, or what have you. I think it's just a great event overall, just to get everyone's legs back under them and honor past and present.
And of course, what a great group of players there are in this too. Like Case had mentioned, Aiko Jones
Yeah.
back again. One that I was hoping that I would see, but unfortunately won't play was Devo, Anna DeBeer, who is still a little bit injured from what I understand, and just decided to basically coach instead of play. But I still remember the night that she went down with the injury, and her parents were sitting right behind me on media row. So I was basically giving them updates from Jared, who was typing them into me on my little internet device. Jared would go, "She's not moving it. It doesn't look good." And that's hard to pass on to a group of parents who are standing there staring down at the floor and wondering what the hell is going on with our daughter.
Holding their breath.
Yeah, just nervous to death. But she came back from it fine. And, if you take a look at this Louisville volleyball program, obviously, Daryl, it's under a new phase now as Dan Miskey is kind of taking control in the reign of things officially, as Danny Busboom Kelly has taken off back to her alumni school in Nebraska.
He just did that case on purpose.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
totally kidding.
I think you meant alma mater, but you just got confused because I've talked about too much Latin. Is what happened.
Her alma mater, yes.
It's too early for Latin conversations, Case.
Yeah, in Venus Verto, whatever. That means in wine there is truth. But we take a look at some of the players that have been through here, and Meskey's got a strong group, no doubt. But you got to kind of wonder, how they're going to do against this very talented group of alumni who I think some of them are playing professionally, correct?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Don't have the exact,
Chelsea and Elena Scott and Charity Looper are all currently rostered. Aiko Jones is coaching Bellarmine, so it was a little bit interesting. I think that she got added to this squad from a competitive situation, but I guess Louisville doesn't play Bellarmine in volleyball this season, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, basically when you look at it and kind of go through the actual schedule, going down through it, no, there is no Bellarmine for a regular season game.
There should be. There should always.
There should be. Yes, I agree with that as well. There should be.
But I think that we've realized the direction that Busboom Kelly has taken this program is we want to face the best of the best and get them ready for the postseason. So there's only so much opportunity to get some quality opponents on a schedule. So I'm sure there will be a Bellarmine match in the future. It's just maybe not a priority to get them on every season.
Yeah, basically. Go ahead, Case.
Yeah, my counterpoint is that we're hosting the Cardinal Classic and Morehead State is in it. Like, bring in the local team. I get that Morehead State is also a Kentucky squad, but come
on. Yeah, I'd rather take Bellarmine.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather play Bellarmine than Morehead State as well. But
or WKU, who is good. If you want to,
WKU this year.
If you want to bring in a Kentucky team,
they play them at the Yum Center on the 22nd of September.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they got Kentucky on the 18th of September.
Yep, Kentucky then Western.
And then WKU on the 22nd. So certainly two powerful matches for this squad, for them to go up against two very good opponents who have given us more than our share of headaches in the past. So it'll be fun to see how they do against them and how they play. And I haven't really studied this year's roster closely and a whole lot. I don't know if either one of you all have or not, but as far as players that are going to kind of step up and take control and say, okay, it's on my back, or I'm going to be the one that's going to try to get us there and get things done. Who are we looking at this year that's going to make the headlines?
Well, you've got two preseason All-Americans in Kara Cressy and Chloe Chacon. So those are the two that are going to stand out the most, I think. As much as we, over time, grew to talk about Anna Stevenson as a middle blocker, I think that we will see just as much of that from Kara Cressy this season. And, Chloe Chacon is filling a very large hole because it's not just Anna DeBeer that departed, but also Charity Looper playing that same position. So as far as your outside hitter goes, there's a lot that she's going to have to fill that gap. Similarly, Nielis Cabello stepping into a presumably, and we'll see what they decide to do with Molly Wilson, but presumably the primary in a 5-1 lineup, primary setter. So we'll see if she takes a big step forward or if they stick with the 6-2 and see what happens with Molly Wilson. And then other players that I think we'll see a lot more from that we haven't in the past. So another newcomer is Alana Bankston. And then you've got Peyton Peterson, who should be taking a step forward. Other middle blockers, Hannah Sherman has put in a lot of good time for Louisville, and then Calissa Blackshear did very well in the red and black scrimmage as a freshman. What I'll be interested to see today, coming out of today, I guess I won't go without mentioning her. Camden Strand has some massive shoes to fill as well, stepping into the libero position following Elena Scott's departure. So I think what I'll be interested to see is how Louisville fills out the alumni roster with current cards, whether they cycle players throughout different sets or whether they just shove a bunch of freshmen over there to see what they can do with those players. I think that'll be interesting for me to hear as the reporting comes back on what they actually do with that setup.
And of course, you had mentioned Peyton Peterson, and she was the one who actually stepped in when Anna DeBeer went on and came out and finished the season for the Cards and did some very good things out there. So I'm looking forward to see how she's going to kind of how she's progressing and how she's doing for sure. But they won't probably give us any information on how this thing turned out or anything like that. But if you do want to attend it, and if you think you can get in, because I'm sure it's going to be probably close to filled.
If you think you're going to get in, you better be there now.
Yeah,
doors open at 1:00, so the line. I joked in the article. I said, depending on when you're reading this, I may or may not be joking about the line forming. I don't think it was forming at 10 after 9 when I wrote that line, but now at 20 after 11, I solid chance that it is.
People out there now, and
Definitely is.
What I used to do in years past when I would go out to these matches is that instead of going out and waiting in a line to get in and everything, I had my media pass. And I would, did Lola fall down? Okay.
Threw her mic on the ground.
Yeah.
She's mad that Lulu came into the room.
Now Lulu is yelling at me. Okay.
Lulu is mad.
Continue. Sorry, guys.
Throwing the mic down. But I used to actually go into the volleyball arena through the SAC building over there. Go in there and then hang a right instead of taking the elevator or taking the escalator. And if you walk down that right way, you used to be able to walk by what I was assuming was a gift or a campus store. And then down a hallway, and all of a sudden, boom, you were in the volleyball arena. And that was nice because and of course, once they saw your media badge, whatever yellow shirts they had standing there would just wave you on through. And yeah, you avoided a lot of problems that way. But they used to also, and I don't know if they're still doing this, but they used to have a kind of a meal for volleyball season ticket holders out there. I don't know if they still do that anymore or not, but I was able to attend that one year and walk through buffet kind of deal. It was not bad stuff. And so, but looking for important things for volleyball this year, hoping that they can do some wonderful things out there as we take a look at volleyball. And when you take a look at, I think what they've got ahead of them here after today, Auburn obviously going to be a very tough match. There's no doubt about that. Then of course they bring in Morehead State and St. John for Cardinal Classic. I don't know a lot about St. John, but Morehead should be a pushover. And then, of course, we bring in Illinois, who's always played us tough. And after those home games, the Cards go on the road for 4 straight. So, Mesky. Yeah.
I've got a question, guys. Are you going to keep your eye on Nebraska volleyball, and are you cheering for their success?
I will keep an eye on them, yes. I want to see how she does. And I think we all knew, even years ago, that if Danny ever had the chance to go back to Nebraska, she would.
The prophecy.
Yeah, it's where she played. It's the prodigal daughter returns home. Mm-hmm. But in any event, I'll watch them. I want to see how they're doing. I'm wondering when it might have happened, down the road in scheduling, whether the two pairs get together and say, hey, let's play each other. What do y'all think? I'm not sure if either school wants to kind of do that right away, though. Mesky probably wants to see if he can establish a few things here without having to go up against his old boss.
Oh, they'll set that up postseason. Yeah. That'll be in the writing on the wall.
You can almost guarantee it, Daryl. That's a very
absolutely.
Very good point.
Yeah,
that's why I'm kind of like.
That's what I was
do
going
I
to say.
want them to be successful?
I do want that.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think that Louisville and Nebraska scheduling will be the first to put the two together. It may down the line put them together. But whether that is in the postseason just by bracketing or, that NCAA champion showcase thing that they did last year, if they host one of those and put Louisville and Nebraska in it, I think that they are much more likely to be brought together by someone else before they bring each other together. But as far as team scheduling, I would say that both coaches probably prefer all of Louisville's roster to turn over before they face off by scheduling.
Interesting concept there, letting all the old players under both coaches kind of move on to alumni status before actually scheduling.
Yeah, because why bring them together?
Yeah, we want to see Dan's product, I guess.
Right.
Before
Danny's product, sure. Yeah.
All right. I do see that Nebraska has Kentucky on the roster or on the schedule for Labor Day weekend in Nashville, so that's a little interesting.
That's that showcase.
Oh, it is. It said Broadway.
They called it something different this year. The Broadway Block Party or something.
Yeah, but there's. I thought that was 4 teams because there's only just those 2. There's nobody else listed. Maybe I need to go to someone else's schedule.
Vandy is in it.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, I don't understand what Nashville has to do with anything.
It's their first season as a volleyball team.
What?
Yeah.
That's, wow. Never thought about it.
Yeah, that one kind of caught me by surprise, too. I didn't realize
that Vandy didn't have a volleyball team. Interesting.
I guess finally enough people migrated down from Nashville and from Knoxville and said, hey, let's come here and play volleyball. Anybody interested?
I'm pulling it up now, trying to see who else is in it. But that'll be here in no time, guys. Like Labor Day weekend is like what, next weekend?
This weekend, yeah, this upcoming weekend. Not today, obviously, but
Yeah, next Sunday.
Yep, Monday. The event is next Sunday, I guess.
Yeah. It says 11 a.m., so looks like a long day of stuff.
That'd be noon Eastern.
So meet the teams: Nebraska, Kentucky, Purdue, Tennessee, Illinois, and Vandy. I like it.
Yeah, actually, it was a reestablishment of the actual program that ran through 2022, and then at that point in time, the program was disbanded for whatever reason.
Interesting.
We're gonna have to investigate.
I remember. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now, but we can continue.
Yeah, but I'm not that big on following Vandy volleyball anyway. But it was and then here's another article about it. It depends on who you read here because there's a lot of different takes on what's going on here. One of the Nashville sources is saying that this program has been shuttered for 45 years. So what is it?
I think it may have been a. I think it may have been a, like a club team, up to 2022, but because the official Vanderbilt website, so the same as Go Cards, VUCommodores.com, says that it is returning to competition for the first time in 45 years. Oh, and Vandy is playing in the First Serve Showcase, which is not the First Serve Showcase is today. So they've got the First Serve Showcase and the Broadway Block Party. So everybody's really just trying to give Vandy national embarrassment at every opportunity.
I was gonna say this sounds rough.
Have fun playing.
They're going to be so sick of volleyball, but
have fun playing Kansas, number 14 Kansas in Lincoln, Nebraska. Then go home and host against a bunch of good teams. Have a great time. Congratulations to former Kentucky head coach or Kentucky associate coach Anders Nelson and former Louisville basketball head coach daughter Haley Mack.
Oh wow!
To start the season.
Well, I mean, if that's as low as they want to start their, next era of volleyball, it can only go up from here in their minds. I'm
Maybe
sure
that's what they're thinking. If we go over in our first season, we can only improve.
There could be a lot of people who are basically tired of volleyball by the end of October down in Vanderbilt. But anyway, we'll see how that works. Good to have another program back in, although I think if you had quizzed somebody on this case, everybody would have gotten it wrong. I mean, how many years has Vandy volleyball been absent? I thought it was just since 2002, but they're saying 45 years now. In any event, good luck to them. I hope that they have some successes and they can build a strong program to compete with some of the other powerhouses that are obviously in the SEC and in the ACC and such. We'll see what it happens for them and how it turns out for them. Tough to start a program, always tough to start a program. But the other areas that we kind of wanted to get into today and talk about a little bit, obviously, let's go into women's soccer. For sure.
Why, did something happen?
In case obviously slept through the women's soccer match, but yes, case they picked up a couple of kids from the Midway at the Kentucky State Fair and brought them over and played soccer against them. No, I'm kidding. They did not do that. They had a match out at Lynn. It was part of a doubleheader. The men played the first game, the women played the second game, and just watching it on the ACC Network Extra like I did. By the time the second match was about, I guess at the halfway part, at halftime, those bleachers were vacant. There was nobody left in the tents. There was nobody left in the boiling zone. Everybody had seen a game and a half of volleyball and kind of decided, okay, we're good. We're out of here. In the game itself, Case, even though you didn't see it, recap it for us.
Well, yeah, I wish I had slept through the game on Sunday when they lost to Vanderbilt, because that one was unpleasant. But yeah, they bring in Detroit Mercy, looking for vengeance for their first match since the 90s, and swiftly dispensed of it. We scored 6 goals in the first half. I mean, I don't really know what else you say. They just beat the tar out of them. Giggs scored her first 2 goals of the season. So Louisville scored 6 goals in the first half. They scored 2 more in the second half. One, just to show that they were serious about what they did in the first half. Betsy Huckabee scored in the first minute of the second half. And then just to make sure that Detroit Mercy knew that they were not receiving any mercy. Mackenzie Geigley scored her second goal of the game with 4 minutes remaining. So they just really wanted to make sure that Detroit Mercy knew what was going on. It was Louisville's first 8-goal effort since they played Wright State a few years ago, which they will get to attempt to repeat in the match on Sunday when they play Wright State next. Can't say that there were 8 goal scorers for Louisville in this one. One of those goals was an own goal, so unfortunate there for Detroit Mercy, I should say. But you get goals from that poor goalkeeper. You get goals from 2 defenders, Grace Maddox and Carson Cherry. Your 2 defending midfielders, A.G. Gibson, Betsy Huckabee. Like I mentioned, Geigley scoring her 2 goals. She looks to be a strong offensive player for the Cards again this season, a key part of that group. And then freshman Nicole Jodoin scored her first goal of the season, got things started with less than 3 minutes in. So, yeah, I will be curious the next time A.G. Gibson scores if she will perform her tumbling routine again, or if Karen Ferguson days will promptly put an end to that. Because when I saw
she was in the circus, yeah.
When I saw the replay, I was like, "Yeah, that's a no-go. Please don't do that."
Yeah, you need to do that really against them.
Well, it's not so much a gloating thing that I would be more worried about injury. I mean,
100%. Like, how mad would you be to ruin your season on something stupid like that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a back handspring. People get injured doing stuff like that on tumbling mats, much less on soccer fields. So.
But I totally get it. You know, opening the home season, it was a beautiful night. All week this week was just so nice out in town that I think that the squad was just, feeling the high from the men's high scoring game, and they were just out there performing for the cameras. You saw her point out the camera and make a move. So
she ran straight to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tumbled straight to it, I should say.
On the sidelines, whether the catchphrase was "mercy upon us."
Fun fact, guys, A.G. Gibson is the daughter of the president of the Kentucky Derby Festival.
That is a fun fact.
I did not know that, no.
Yeah, I worked for him, and he's been posting about her for over a year since, she committed, and he was very, very excited about the flip.
Something that obviously she had practiced in the backyard a long time before she ever actually did it at a stadium, right?
I would hope so. I would really hope that was not her first go at that.
Well, I'd assume she never did it for Assumption or Sacred Heart?
I think Assumption, yeah.
Assumption. Yeah, whichever one. Apologies, I guess, to whichever one I am offending by being right or wrong.
Right. Definitely offending someone.
Yeah. I'll probably offending somebody just by not remembering. But I have to assume it didn't happen in a game for them, because I would guess that would be an automatic card in a KHSA event for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Probably. It's a little much.
It was a little much. It wasn't a game winner against the number 1 team or something. So.
Very true. Assumption, you're right. You got it.
Aha.
No one offended. Some thoughts for me, guys. I did get Liza. Oh my God, Sudhim. How do you say her last name? Sudhim.
Your guess is good enough.
I should have asked her while she was standing in front of me, but
pronunciation.
I think Sudhim is a good guess.
I think it's just Sudam.
Sudhim.
Sudam. Yes. Pronunciation.
Okay, I like that.
Sudam.
And tell us about the encounter, Daryl.
Way easier.
Run into
Well,
her?
I and my job at UofL is I onboard a lot of staff, actually everybody. So regular staff, faculty, students. And so I get to see a lot of names. A lot of names stand out to me. A lot of position titles stand out to me. So that's how I can, be like, hey guys, it looks like we're getting a new lacrosse coach or whatever. And so I have a list of students where I've been chasing them down for weeks, trying to get them to do what they need to do. And I have a list of what I call the bad kids. And the bad kids get put on a list and they get hounded by me. Their supervisor gets reached out to and yada yada. Anyways, Liza was on the list because she's running out of time to get these tasks done before she got terminated. And I totally get it. Like they were out of town on Sunday. They got to get back. School starts on Monday. These kids don't carry their social security cards around with them. So it's just a whole lot of chasing the younger kids around, trying to get them to show us their IDs. And so she was on my list. And so I saw her name come up for coming in on Friday, and I anticipated it. So I was excited to meet her and talk about the game the night before. So, and funny enough, it's not funny, it's embarrassing. Our printer, our copy machine was just giving me a really hard time. I had to restart it 2 or 3 times in front of this girl. Like it usually takes me like 3 minutes to do what I need to do for somebody, and she had to stand there for 15 minutes, and it was just, I was so apologetic because I know she had to move her time because she had practice coming up. So I was like, I am so sorry. Please tell head coach it was all my fault if you're late. But she was very
no
nice.
mercy upon her then.
What'd you say? There's no mercy.
You showed no mercy upon her then, right?
Yeah, I was just wanted to talk about the game a little bit more. Just kidding. But I did get to chat about the night before, how excited they were to get a win. And, she didn't score, but had a good amount of minutes, I think more than 40 minutes in the game. So I have a feeling she'll get one this week or Sunday night, just because I got to talk to her.
Yeah, she had three shots in 46 minutes.
See, yeah, so she's due.
Nobody played more than... No field player played more than 68 minutes. And the only player that played more than 68 minutes was Aaron Floyd. She only played 71. Interestingly, they did not turn to Kylie Kimball. Kaylee Kimball. They did not turn to Kaylee Kimball. Freshman Brielle Baker got to come up in goal.
Well, they didn't spend much time down at that end, honestly, guys. It was a great opportunity to get those minutes for the bench players. And like I said, it's just a nice night. I felt like the vibes were high. Just 8 goals is a lot. And I think they ran out of fireworks, is what I said. Yeah, just nice to meet Liza. And she's talking about the schedule as well. So I was like, I can't believe you get 6 home games in a row. And they're just really excited for that. They think they can take advantage of that consistency, being at home, and just, take that into the conference play. So it was a nice chance to meet her and tell her about Cardinal Couple and getting to cover them this season. Told her good luck, good luck next game, good luck this season. And yeah, thanks for coming in.
As you mentioned, 6 in a row at home and 1 already in the W column. Detroit Mercy, obviously, Wright State next. Doesn't appear to be much of a challenge there with Wright State, although I guess you'd never really know. The Cards, I'm going to think, should win that one. USC upset, an interesting match to me coming up on the 28th. Basically, I know very little about their program, but they come out of a strong state for soccer in South Carolina. and then of course Coastal Carolina to end the month. So it looks like August could end up pretty well for the Cards here, gang.
Why the heck is that one at 3:00?
That's yeah.
It's
Is that
baffling.
not? I don't remember a 3:00 in August for these.
No,
for
it
this.
makes no sense. It's not a doubleheader. It's not.
Yeah, I was getting ready to look at the men's schedule. Huh. Well, maybe no, because I don't get up till 4:30. It'll be wrapping up. I don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing you can really figure on it would be travel arrangements.
I guess that's not really a home field advantage if you can't let your fans get out there.
You know, they were probably saying, "Look, we'd love to play you, but here's what our travel arrangements are. Can you play us then?"
I guess.
My only other guess is that because it's leading into a holiday weekend, but
yeah,
at
get it
the
over
same
with,
time
get
they
everybody
play
back
on
home. You're right.
they play on Sunday.
Oh,
I think, don't they?
yes, they
Yeah,
do.
they play on Sundays. So I don't.
Yeah.
So they don't get holidays. This is
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand.
You're in season. You don't get holidays. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, I'm sure Wright State's a little bit upset about having the long Labor Day weekend and having to spend part of it in Louisville, who's probably going to double digit them, if not close to it. But then again, they're playing college soccer, so I know there's got to be a sense of pride there somewhere.
So Wright State coming in, lost to Dayton to open the season on the road at Dayton, 2-0, and then played Fairmont State.
A West Virginia school, perhaps?
Are they? Fairmont State University Falcons. This does not feel to me like a D1 program. D2 in Cleveland.
Oh.
No, Fairmont, West Virginia. You're right.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, D2 program. They beat them 4-0. Also in Dayton. So that's weird, but yeah, a little bit of not much to figure out what's coming from this team. They went 5-10-2 last season, 3-5-2 in the Horizon League.
So it kind of makes you wonder after you get through the August part of the schedule, where we should come out and find fashion. Things look to be a little bit tougher in the next three. Kent State has always had fairly decent programs, although I'm not sure how they did last year. And Dayton has always played us tough in, obviously, women's soccer. And actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, beat us last year up there.
Probably.
And then, of course, on September the 11th, we go to FSU. Enough said on that one.
Scary.
Yeah, it's going to be at least we'll be well tested before that first road test with the number of games that we've played at home. But there won't be any unfamiliarity amongst our players amongst each other, and we'll kind of have an idea and some kind of plan on what we would like to do. Of course, then comes the other side of the coin. FSU is probably going to say, "We're not going to let you do that." I don't think so. No. Just be a good opponent and let us beat you. That obviously also being the first ACC game. And looking at it, and when you look at the ACC slate and the Cards are playing, it looks like a total of 10 ACC games from what I'm coming up with. Is that what you guys are getting?
It sounds correct.
Before we move on, let's just kind of do a little prognostication.
That's how many they played last year, so.
You've got FSU on the road, and then you bring in. Here's the beauty of it. You bring in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 conference opponents at home. After FSU on the road, you got Virginia Tech, Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame, and Wake Forest, all at home. Then
those last two are on the road.
Oh yeah, that's right. You well.
Yep. The first three, yeah, 3 straight home ACC games, and then they go on the road then they go on the road for 3 straight, and then they back and forth over the last 3 games.
You got to wonder at it, and maybe I'm not going to try to get too far out of lines here, but I'm thinking the Cards would be well served, basically in conference, to be able to hit 500 at 5-5. 10 opponents, obviously some very good ones in a very good conference soccer league. Your all's thoughts on their chances and successes here?
I think if they get 5 results, I'd be very surprised. Or, I mean, if they get 10 results, I'd be very surprised since college soccer did away with regular season overtime. Since they did that, even when they had regular season overtime, Louisville was a draw happy team. Since they did that, Louisville has had at least 2 conference draws every season since the rule change. Their last time they didn't have a conference draw was 2021. Louisville went 3-7. It was very bad. Or 2022. It was 3-7. It was an abysmal conference schedule. So I think they could finish 500. I don't know if they'll do it at 5-5. If they finish 500 in conference, that would be cool. It's not going to make the ACC tournament, which for some ungodly reason is still 6 teams. There are 18 teams in the league. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, it's a tough schedule, right? Like you mentioned, you got FSU on the road. Clemson will be ranked coming in. Virginia Tech is always tough. Miami, you should be able to beat Miami at home. Notre Dame being on the road is difficult. Wake Forest will probably be ranked. You're playing them on the road. Boston College may be ranked. You're playing them on the road. Virginia will probably be ranked. You're bringing them in here. NC State is always tough. And then SMU will just be an interesting, for many reasons, final regular season game. So
we'll certainly see how all those turn out for the Cards, and of course we'll report on them here for you at Cardinal Couple and let you know on the website how these turn out for them. I just want to maybe talk a bit about field hockey before we reach the end of the show. They did have a scrimmage yesterday, as they brought Bellarmine in to scrimmage them, but trying to find any information about the outcome of this one, I've had no success whatsoever.
What time was that?
3
Do you
o'clock.
know? Okay.
From what I understand, they played this at 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
When I was walking in yesterday, which is like 7:45 or 8 in the morning, I'm pretty sure the bells and whistles, whatever, over there at field hockey were going off. Maybe they were getting ready for it. I don't know, but I just kept looking over there like, what the heck is that noise? Are they actually doing something right now? And again, 7:45 in the morning, so I don't think it was that.
Yeah, maybe Justine Sowery was having a pre-season party. Just invited a fan base over and brought out the champagne and said, "Hit the field, let's have some
hitting
fun."
all the buttons. I heard all the bells and the whistles.
Maybe just testing them, knowing that they were about to host
it could have been a preseason test for sure.
Very likely.
I wasn't able to make contact with Lori Cordy on this one. And even if I had been able to, I'm not sure what she would be able to tell me about this scrimmage against Bellarmine. Although, in all honesty, I mean, okay, are the powerhouses of the ACC like Wake Forest and some of the other teams really going to take a look at the Bellarmine and scout us? Maybe, but I don't think they're going to take too much out of the results against us playing Bellarmine. However, what do I know? Field hockey chances this year, gang. Of course, obviously, the ACC slate with the addition of the West Coast schools and such, looking just a little bit tougher, and they kind of take a look at the schedule, and you've got a total of 10 or 9 field hockey conference matches. I'm looking at it again just to follow up on it. It looks like 10 or 9, and then the ACC tournament. I'm sorry. Bellarmine is on the schedule to play us in the regular season game in field hockey, and well, I'm looking back and thinking back here, gang. I don't recall us ever actually facing Bellarmine in one season as a scrimmage game and then a regular season game. So, does anybody remember us ever doing that before?
No.
Seems kind of smart.
It's unusual.
He says, "Okay, well, that was just a practice. We're going to play you again for real on October the 7th. Y'all be ready." Uh, I don't, I don't understand, but maybe it's a
I kind of like it.
situation.
It's just taking advantage. It's kind of making each squad better for their seasons ahead. You know, Bellarmine will take what they can from the scrimmage and use that to get better, and the Cards will do the same. It's kind of like, you know, little brothers and little sisters helping one another. For, you know, you still want to beat up on each other, but when it comes to other squads, you protect them and you want to make sure that they're better. So maybe it's that mentality. Like, okay, we'll do this to get ready for the regular season since you're right down the street. But then down the road, hey, don't forget about us. We're gonna see you again for real this time, and it's gonna be recorded.
Well, it is also both teams' home stadium.
And that is true. Bellarmine does play their field hockey matches at Traeger over there at the corner across from the natatorium. That's been a nice facility all over for the years for the Cards there. The surface was redone a couple years ago. I can remember actually being up in Justine Sowery's office one time talking with her, and then we went to the conference room to have our interview. And the mother of all rainstorms seemed to break out. And we looked at her window that overlooks the actual field. That field had to be at least 4 inches underwater. It was amazing to see. And even Coach just kind of shuddered and go, "I've never seen that before, Paulie." It saw like it was a new sport had been invented: underwater field hockey. Try to find the ball. Good luck. Look out for the riptide. But
Sounds like a weird version of water polo.
it does indeed, doesn't it? And the poor horses down there underwater trying to get the. But field hockey has a well. Let's face it, they didn't have the best of years last year. There's some rebuilding to be done there. Kind of your prognosis on the 2025 chances for the team, y'all?
Yeah, I think you're definitely looking for improvements. It's hard to say without having seen it. You can get a little bit more information about the soccer team, right? Because we've seen them out 3 times now. The field hockey team, it's tough to say. Rebuilding both the roster and the confidence. Louisville's been on a bit of a skid recently, not just last season, which was kind of the worst of them, but in recent years in the ACC, they've not been the power that we've seen from them in the past. I think Justine Sowery would definitely like to change that, and maybe this is the year that it happens. For me, there's just not enough information to know, really.
I just want to remind they add the associate head coach Mike Pallister, so let's see what that does for the squad. I'm not too familiar with what he's done, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see that aspect of it as well.
One of the areas I think that he was touted on as being a very good defensive coach.
Okay.
And so I don't know how that's going to translate from where he was at before to being at Louisville now, and what he can do with the defensive game that the Cards had last year. It could be an interesting scenario for Louisville. Is he going to try and bring in a brand new system for the players that have been there a couple years and then teach that to them? It'll be interesting to see which way he goes with this. I know that I'll tell you, October 10th and 12th it'll look like a 2-game, duck and don't get hit by anything incoming with October 10th at Duke and then October 12th at UNC. 2 very, very storied field hockey programs, and that seems like to me it's the road trip from hell. But it looks like a pretty tough way to go there. But what Sary's got here, and maybe one of y'all can take a look at this and research this just a little bit. But what's she got coming back as far as powerhouses go? What she got back as far as players coming back that are going to hopefully make an impact for the squad.
She's got Chloe Plum, so that'll be nice. That was off the top. Let me see who else we've got. Sophia Parker.
Amy, her sister's gone then.
Yes. So you've got Sophia Parker, Lauren Masters, Chloe Plum. The first two being players that have been involved with USA Field Hockey, as has Izzy Bianco, who returns. Probably will see a step up from Tyler Everslage and Tatum Kroon and Riley Wollerton. But beyond that list, there's a lot more returners, but beyond that list, the name recognition, I think, falls off pretty heavily. So it'll be interesting.
Salary may be more than any of the other women's coaches tends to go overseas to Europe and recruit not most of her talent, but a good portion of her talent, obviously, and seems to be particularly fond of bringing in players from the Netherlands to come here and then play their field hockey. You got to kind of wonder, first of all, they've got to deal with the academics in a strange land and everything else, and then they have to play field hockey at the same time. What kind of effect do you think that has on a player coming over from the Netherlands?
I'm sure it's not easy. We do bring in one new player from the Netherlands. Annabelle Sepp comes from the University of Amsterdam, so she's a transfer. She is a junior. That joins two returning players from the Netherlands, Tatum Kroon and Trinity Herfkens. So, other than those three, you also have Plum from England, and then we also have a player from New Zealand. Where did I lose her? Yeah, Gracie Potter, a freshman, comes from New Zealand. That isn't English as a first language country, so like you said, a little bit different for the players coming from the Netherlands. I don't know. I think back of like on other collegiate players that I saw at speed school, right? And like how do you have the time? It doesn't make sense to me. For the workload that we had, plus all the additional athletic load, and like you said, Paul, but they probably already know English if they are choosing to come to the U.S. for college. But to be culturally in a very different place, very far from home, a very different learning environment. I'm sure that educationally the environments are very different from the U.S. to Europe. So I'm sure it's very difficult, but I think that, like you mentioned, it's not something that is new to Justine Sowry, and I think that is part of the draw. The reason she's able to get more players to commit and to do it is because she says, look, we've had a lot of players that have been successful doing this. I know how to help guide you through it. UofL has great resources. You will have a lot of pals going through the same thing, because it's not just the field hockey team, but Louisville is a very diverse culturally university with a student body, and especially the athletics departments. So I think there's a lot of resource there and a lot of positive reinforcement to help support that, but I am sure it's difficult.
Certainly we'll try to catch up with Lori Cordy if at all possible, and although I know she's a very, very busy woman this time of year. See if I can get maybe at least a couple of hints or ideas on how we did against Bellarmine. Tomorrow they are actually going to take on another opponent as they're going to travel to Oxford, Ohio, and take on Miami University in a scrimmage. A program that, obviously we've played them in the past several times. You just got to kind of wonder about the scheduling of them and what, when you take a look at this matchup, and this goes back so many years, all the way back to 1978, 20-23 record against them. So actually, Miami University has a better record than Louisville for the all-time series. Interesting. So the Cards will see what they can do on it. What we can do is we've reached the noon hour, so it's time of us to wrap up this broadcast, and we hope that you all have kind of gotten a nice recap of what's going on so far in the early fall events for obviously field hockey, soccer, and women's volleyball, of course. So, final thoughts, Daryl? What you got?
I was just thinking about how the women's non-conference basketball schedule dropped this week. I did get a chance to talk to Coach Walls on the phone for about 10 minutes. He called my department with some questions, and I got to, just reintroduce myself. He knows who I am, but, say, hey, Coach, this is Daryl. He's like, oh, Daryl. And, of course, he's excited. So ended up sharing. He needed some help with some HR stuff, and he actually gave me his cell phone number and told me to hit him up if I want to come to practice or shoot around or whatever. And I said, don't tell me that, Coach. I'll be there every day.
So
yeah, that was
your
cool.
number and kick you out.
Yeah, one of the things. So yeah, that was exciting. Just first week back at school. Campus is freaking popping, guys. There's just I love the fall semester the best because the warm summer air is still out. Then when they come back after the new year, it's just still cold and often wet and snowy and gross, and nobody wants to get out of bed. But when you come into the fall semester, it's like a new slate for everybody, and everybody's still dressed nicely and comfortable. So I just love the fall semester getting started and campus getting real busy again.
And certainly it is that time of year. And I can remember back in my days on campus many years ago, walking across 3rd Street to go to the quadrangle from the fraternity house, and the leaves falling. And, of course, the campus police back then were still in golf carts.
I was going to say, they probably didn't have the crosswalk back in your day, and you were dodging, dodging.
We were dodging traffic.
And well, they've actually put in a crosswalk, and you have to stop for the crossers now. So
you're supposed to stop for the crossers.
Well, you're supposed to, but
you're in the giant murder vehicle. Hey, you don't have to do anything. Legally, you're required to, but
I always joked in the spring semester when we would come back and it's so cold and you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, and it would be like frigid negative degrees, and just these cars are like everybody's sitting in their car at the light and the warmth, and I'm just like, just hit me, just put me out of my misery. I'm gonna walk, and like I'm not stopping, so you're gonna have to stop in your warm vehicle.
I can remember some of my early memories about that too as well, Daryl, when we used to walk over to the Red Barn when it was in this old location and go to events that they had over there. And they brought in some really good music groups and other types of acts. And then having to trudge back across campus at midnight or 1 a.m, obviously under the influence. And one time that my roommate at the time decided he was going to climb a tree.
Oh, Lord.
And just proceeded to climb a tree right there on campus. And when the campus cops came by in their golf cart and they saw me staring up into a tree, obviously it got their attention. And they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm looking in the tree." And they said, "Why?" And I said, "I'm looking for my roommate." It's a wonder they didn't run me right down then, but they said, "Is he up there?" I said, "Can't you hear him?" And so they were sitting there, and I wish I could have got this on camera. They were calling my roommate to come down out of the tree. And he said, "No, not until you leave."
I live here now.
Yeah, this is my home. Beat it.
Find your own tree. That's your first.
Yeah, it's just like, you all come back when it's fall. Oh, it is fall. Well, never mind. I'm waiting for everyone there to get here. in the event, yeah, great times, and certainly look forward to giving you the fall results. But until then, we certainly had a wonderful broadcast today. Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week as well as throughout the week with articles. Until then, as we like to close, go Cards.